Welcome to Hormoniverse, where we talk about how hormones affect our bodies, our minds, and our relationships. My name is Ellie. I'm a doctor and I study reproductive health, which basically mean I learn about everything that affects our fertility one way or the other. I study menstrual cycle charting as a diagnostic tool currently, which means I help teach women how to chart their menstrual cycle to figure out what's going on in their bodies. This is a great way to figure out what days you're fertile and what days you're not, to figure out when to have sex if you want to get pregnant, or when to avoid having sex if you don't want to get pregnant and you don't want to be on hormonal contraceptives. It's also a great way of figuring out why your ovulation is delayed, why your period's late, why you are suffering from PMS, why you have certain conditions such as PCOS or things like that. And we address whatever factors might be influencing this. I know a lot of women buy into this concept of being crazy once a month, and a lot of their partners do too. So I want to clarify what's actually going on and make women understand that they're not crazy, and make men understand that women are not crazy. And I also want women to know that pain is not something that we should accept just because we're women. Pain is a signal that tells us that something is wrong, and we should very much be able to address it, which I know, unfortunately, not all women experience when they go to their doctors. Menstrual cycle charting can also help you avoid getting your getting your period during inconvenient times. You know when to expect it. It helps you avoid pregnancy scares. So basically, as a woman, you should really understand your menstrual cycle, and you can only do that by charting it, really. I think menstrual cycle charting is the ultimate tool for self improvement and maturity. And maturity can only come with understanding. So, what do you learn when you learn how to chart your menstrual cycle? And what are the X reasons? I haven't really figured out how many I'm going to bring up in this video, but you'll probably see it in the title. Number one, when you learn how to chart your menstrual cycle, you understand if and when you are fertile, and you can make decisions that benefit you. You avoid having the accidental pregnancies. You avoid pregnancy scares. You, like I said before, you know exactly what day your period is due. It eliminates all of this guesswork, and it also helps you avoid having your period accidentally ruin important events such as weddings or holidays or whatever. Number two, menstrual cycle charting can help you understand why you're fertile, why you're not fertile if you aren't. A lot of women get diagnosed with unexplained infertility, and more often than not, there is actually an explanation that just doesn't show up on blood work and on ultrasounds, which is what doctors normally use to diagnose infertility. Common causes of anovulation, which means you're not uh, ovulating, is under eating or over exercising, or, for example, PCOS. And not only do these common causes of infertility not show up on blood work and ultrasounds, for example, but doctors are also not taught to address lifestyle related factors, which are the most common causes that lead to reversible infertility. So figuring out your menstrual cycle can potentially help you avoid the misery of having to go through IVF, and especially the trauma of failed IVF attempts. Number 3, it helps you figure out why you are in pain. For example, I used to have a lot of pain when I was bleeding. And when I started charting my menstrual cycle, I realized that when I was drinking a lot of coffee, I was in more pain. We can talk a little bit more about why coffee causes menstrual cycle pain. But regardless, I realized that I was drinking more coffee when I was working late and weekends and night shifts and what have you. And the better I slept during a month, the less pain I had. Very rarely do women go to their doctors because they're suffering from menstrual cycle pain and their doctor tells them to sleep more or better. But this was the case with me, and I could avoid a lot of painkillers just thanks to the fact that I was charting my menstrual cycle. Number 4, you do not have to suffer the side effects of birth control. This is my own personal favorite because I don't want to take birth control, but I also have not wanted to have children yet. So menstrual cycle charting is kind of the best of both worlds. You get to have a contraceptive method that works with literally no side effects. And I think when women are suffering side effects from birth control and they bring this up with their doctors, more often than not, they are offered a different type of birth control that has other side effects rather than their doctors helping them prevent side effects altogether. And this is not because their doctors are mean and they don't want the women to be free of suffering. I think this is just because doctors don't know about menstrual cycle charting as a scientific tool for understanding fertility and what days to avoid sex if you want to avoid pregnancy. Number 5, this is my personal favorite. When you use menstrual cycle charting as a contraceptive method, you all of a sudden have completely different boundaries with men. And I think this is really important. And I think this is really important for younger women, especially because there are a lot of men out there that don't want to use condoms and that don't want to really take any responsibility for the potential consequences of sex. So when you chart your menstrual cycle, you see men completely differently. You see which men are supportive, you see which men are interested in you as a person and not just you as a body, and you can avoid a lot of consequences from men that just want to have sex without a condom. I wish we would talk a lot more with the younger generation of women about this. If you want to learn more about that, I highly recommend you join my group on School. I'll link it down below, where we have sex education for women about what we should have actually been taught in school. Now, if you want to learn menstrual cycle charting, I am still accepting clients as a part of my final year as a student at the Justice College. I will put the link for that down in the description as well. I would love to work with you. I'll see you there.